All right, welcome. I know it looks like I'm wearing lipstick. My lips are just extremely chapped, and I had to put like chapstick on them, and they like start shining, so that's why it looks like that. If you were wondering. Anyway, I just got home from IU. Had fun at the game, despite them losing. But bracketology was supposed to be today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna push bracketology back to Thursday. Plus, we don't have school tomorrow because of snow, so I'll have all day to edit it and film it, and it'll be a really good video. It will be a better video than if I would have done it today. But I have, so as we were driving home from, as me and Jimmy were driving home from IU, we were listening to the radio, obviously, sports radio, and they started talking about something that was just, they just started talking about it, and I thought it was just funny, hilarious, and weird, and a pretty cool kind of thing. So I decided I wanted to talk about it. So I decided I wanted to put my 2 cents on this. The biggest MVP snub of all time. 1961 is the year. I'm sure most of you were alive back then. Yeah, I'm playing. But the NBA MVP was coming down. It was coming down to the NBA MVP. Who is the most valuable player in the NBA? Here were your 8 finalists, or the 8 people that received votes. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Bob Pettit, Richie Guerin, and Bob Cousy. So those were all your people that received votes. Now, I'm going to list you some stats, and you're going to tell me who you think would be most deserving of winning MVP. Elgin Baylor had a fantastic season for the Lakers, averaging 38.3 points, 18.6 rebounds, and 4.6 assists. That's a great season. 38 points, 18 assists, or 18 rebounds. Even that any day of the week. That's a great season. Definitely MVP worthy. Oscar Robertson, the Big O from Indiana. Hell yeah, baby. Indiana basketball. I don't know if he went to IU. I just know he played high school basketball in Indiana. The Big O averaged a triple-double. Now, this isn't no 10-10-10 stuff. 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. He averaged a 30-point triple-double. It's a big deal when someone in the NBA gets a 30-point triple-double. He averaged that. Every game, he averaged a 30-point triple-double. Okay. Jerry West saw a year, he averaged 30 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Bob Pettit, 31 points, 18 rebounds. Very solid numbers. Bob Cousy, 15 points, 3 rebounds. I don't even know why he's on this list. But none of those guys actually won the MVP. The Big O, averaging a 30-point triple-double, didn't do it. 38 and 18 for Elgin Baylor. That didn't do it. 31 and 18 for Bob Pettit. That didn't do it. They gave the MVP to Bill Russell, who averaged 18.9 points and 24 rebounds, 23.6 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. Okay, that's a good season, but Robertson, Baylor, and West all averaged way more points and had comparable rebound numbers to some extent and had more assists. So those 3 kind of got snubbed for the MVP, right? Bill Russell ended up winning it, okay? So, but we still have to talk about Wilt. What did Wilt average this past year? Okay, because he was also in the mix. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50.4 points per game, along with 25.7 rebounds per game. He averaged 50 points per game. That's the highest scoring season of all time. I think he had his 100-point game in this season. And everyone's like, oh, Wilt Chamberlain played against plumbers. He's playing the the same people these guys are playing. He's averaging 50 points per game. Look at the stats. Here, I'll pull them up. Look, okay. Right here. Points, rebounds, assists. 3-point line, 3-point percentage, 3-point wasn't a thing back then. He is averaging 50 points per game. If you are a Philadelphia Warriors fan, and you have season tickets for whatever reason, you walk into that arena, you know Wilt gonna give you 50. That's like some players, like nowadays, their career high is like, oh, he had a 50-point game. You know, he was on fire today. What a great game this person had. Wilt did that every single night. He averaged 50. Here's one more for you. Look at the minutes played. Look at this row. Okay, look at that row. There are 48 minutes in a basketball game. 4 12-minute quarters. Wilt averaged 48 and a half minutes per game. That means he played every minute of every game. That man did not sniff the bench. He is averaging more minutes per game than there are minutes in a game. And this guy got the third most first place votes. First place votes. Bill Russell got 51. And the Big O had 13. Wilt only got 9. For averaging half of 100 points every night. Every night, playing every minute of every game, dropping 50 points on a nightly basis. Didn't win MVP. A guy that's averaging 32 less points per game. You can combine Oscar Robertson and Bill Russell's points per game. They still don't catch him. They still don't. How? How did he not win MVP? I mean, I know back then it was like, oh, it's the best player on the best team. And this was when the Celtics were winning 11 championships in a row. And Bill Russell was the best player on the Celtics. But how? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. How? He had the third most first place votes. How does that happen? How? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And okay, you can be like, oh, the 2 assists. Screw the 2 assists. Who's he gonna pass to? He's the only player on that team. You look at the 1961 Philadelphia Warriors, they're full of bums. It is literally 4 guys from the YMCA and Wilt. And it's not like they were even a bad team. They had like a winning record and like made the playoffs. They were like 49-30 or something like that. Just off of Wilt carrying them. If that is not the definition of the most valuable player. That is the most points anyone has ever averaged per game in an NBA season. Didn't win MVP. Didn't win. And he had more rebounds too. 26. I'm just going to round up. 26 rebounds per game. He averaged the most points and the most rebounds. Nope. Not enough. Not enough. That's ridiculous. How? How did Elgin Baylor get less first place votes than Jerry West when he was better than Jerry West in every category? I mean, how? If that isn't the biggest MVP snub ever. They were talking about this on 670 The Score. I'm like, you're kidding, man. I was like, that's wild. Better field goal percent. How do you go out every single night and drop 50 every game? Every game he's dropping 50. But no, not good enough. Not good enough for my MVP vote. 51 first place votes for Bill Russell. 9 for Wilt. That is ridiculous. How on earth? That is I don't know. I had to mention this. I'm like, dude, if I was a Philadelphia Warriors fan in 1961, I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed. I thought that was a fun story that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed that video. But I don't know. They were talking about that on the radio today, and I was just like, what the? Oh, by the way, MLB, fix your lockout problems. That's another thing they talked about on the radio. Yeah, can you owners figure out how to split all your billions so we can watch baseball this year? Thank you, I'd appreciate that.